In a reality show, the guests were asked to share their annual app usage reviews. It was movie star Adrian's turn. His Google search history revealed this year you searched Chloe a total of 1,874 times. A social media notification pops up. The post you spent the most time on was Chloe's new romance rumored to be exposed. A video streaming platform. Your favorite celebrity of the year is Chloe. Chloe is me, Adrian's most hated ex. Under everyone's gossipy gazes, he calmly replied, "Oh, must be a hacker." The host couldn't take it anymore. "Mr. Adrian, are you saying someone hacks into all your platform accounts every day just to secretly follow Miss Chloe?" Right, Adrian nodded firmly. That night's trending topic. When the sky falls, don't worry, Adrian's mouth will hold it up. After signing up for a leisure reality show, I was informed that one of the guests had been replaced last minute with Adrian. He had been in the industry for over a decade and never participated in reality shows. Who knows what madness struck him this time. Once the guest list was announced, I was torn apart online again. Adrian, run, Chloe is just using you for clout again. It's been 2 years since the breakup, yet she still clings to Adrian shamelessly. Her audacity could stop bullets. How is this cheating woman still not blacklisted? Director, if you're bringing this bitch on the show, I'm out. On the first day of filming, I arrived at the set with a heavy heart. Jacob and Sophia showed up at the same time as me. Both started as singers before transitioning to acting, and their current hit drama has made Jafia the hottest CP right now. Reality shows in the leisure genre don't have as many rules. After exchanging a few simple greetings, they went to play badminton nearby. From time to time, there would be a head-patting moment, and the live chat would be flooded with comments like, "Ah." I lifted my water bottle to take a drink. Suddenly, I caught sight of the person in front of me and was startled. It had been 2 years since we last met, although I had mentally prepared myself in advance. When the moment of reunion arrived, my heart still couldn't remain completely calm. He stood a few meters away staring at me, his deep eyes unreadable. Everyone loves gossip, though netizens criticized me. The reunion drama between Adrian and me was exactly what the audience craved. In an instant, the live stream's viewership doubled. I nervously picked at my fingers in secret. After a brief moment of eye contact, Adrian left without a word. The comment section is filled with laughter. Ha 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 ha. Look at Adrian's expression. One more glance at her would dirty his eyes. This is so intense. If I were Chloe, I wouldn't even dare to show up. Can't wait for Adrian to slap that bitch hard in the face. Chloe really picked the wrong person to mess with this time. I'm not too confident either. What happened back then was ugly. Given Adrian's status in Hollywood, if he insists on retaliating against me, there's nothing I can do. Whatever, let us wait and see. After a while, Adrian returned. His tense expression softened slightly. He sat down beside me and handed me the thermos he was holding. "You're on your period and still drinking ice water. You'll have stomach cramps again later. Here's some hot chamomile tea for you." Oh my god, it's been 2 years since we last met. Has Adrian's heart grown this magnanimous? Forced by the cameras, I had no choice but to accept. Thank you. Even the comment section went blank for a few seconds. Wait, did I hear that right? Shouldn't they be grabbing each other by the neck and screaming insults by now? I now believe reality shows have scripts. I don't believe it. Adrian must be using this tactic to confuse his opponent, waiting for them to lower their guard before striking back mercilessly. The cameraman went to film Jacob and Sophia sitting side by side with Adrian. I felt utterly uncomfortable. "Drink it while it's hot," he urged me. "You didn't poison this, did you?" Adrian clicked his tongue helplessly. "What are you thinking? Am I that kind of person?" That's hard to say. What broke the deadlock was Leo's arrival. Every time I see him, I can't help but sigh. Some people are truly blessed by the heavens. Not only was he gifted with extraordinary looks and charisma, but also exceptional acting talent. He rose to fame at a young age, sweeping both the Oscar and Golden Globe for Best Actor, becoming the top-grossing actor of the new generation, and he was only 22. Leo smiled at me, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Sis, you look stunning in red." I motioned for him to sit down, but last time you said I looked better in white. "Pretty people look good in anything, tch." Adrian scoffed from the side. Smooth talker. I glared at him, and Adrian fell silent. Playing with the lid of his thermos with a wronged expression, he thought to himself, the production team really knows how to play the ratings game. Adrian is my publicly acknowledged ex-boyfriend. Leo is my rumored boyfriend. Among the 5 guests, Jacob and Sophia are the sweet, pure love couple. The 3 of us were in a messy love triangle. Sophia got tired and left the game. Leo walked up to Adrian and said, "Mr. Adrian, would you care for a match?" Adrian clenched his teeth and took the racket. The following game was nothing short of thrilling. Neither cared about winning, they just kept running each other ragged and smashing vicious spikes. Taking off his jacket and rolling up his sleeves, he revealed his well-defined arm muscles. It was as if the racket wasn't hitting the shuttlecock, but rather smacking the opponent's head through thin air. The comment section never stopped buzzing. First time seeing badminton played like a fistfight. Random passerby genuinely asking, do Adrian and Leo have some beef? They don't seem to have any feud. Their biggest connection right now is Chloe. I came to watch the movie Emperor confront his ex. How did it suddenly turn into a competition with his ex's rumored boyfriend? In the end, the director couldn't bear to watch anymore and called a stop to it. Before dinner, 2 people needed to go grocery shopping. The draw picked me and Adrian. Leo kept asking if he should accompany me. Sis, be careful with him. Call me if anything happens. I couldn't help but laugh at his words. Everyone else was scolding me for being ungrateful. Only Leo would think that I was the victim in that relationship. Sitting in the passenger seat, I felt dazed. After all, Adrian and I had loved each other wholeheartedly once, and there had been no shortage of sweet moments between us. He once drove 5 hours through the night after wrapping up filming just to see me. He cared for me day and night when I was ill and stood up for me recklessly when I was bullied. But too much time has passed, and the rift runs too deep. Looking back, now it feels like a beautiful dream. The moment you wake, everything dissolves into bubbles. When I opened my eyes again, I realized it truly was just a dream. I don't know when I fell asleep still covered by Adrian's jacket. It was the familiar scent of wood that I knew so well. Awake, Adrian awkwardly averted his gaze, his tone neither warm nor cold. I scratched my head. Sorry about that. Why didn't he wake me up? Couldn't he bear to wake you when you were sleeping so soundly? The comment section was scrolling rapidly. Chloe slept for over an hour, and he just sat there staring at her the whole time. Didn't he even blink? Alright everyone, let us go. He is clearly still in love, bro. I really don't get it. Does Chloe have some dirt on you, or what? I tend to get headaches during my period. Adrian was worried the wind would bother me right after waking up, so he refused to let me leave the car, and insisted on doing all the shopping himself. Even during dinner, he was bustling about, more attentive than during our honeymoon phase. Even someone as slow-witted as me could see what was on his mind. For the first day of filming wrapped, the heel of my high heels broke, forcing me to walk barefoot. In the deserted underground parking lot late at night, Adrian came looking for me. I'll walk you home. No need. I tightened my coat around myself. I took a step back, putting distance between us. Chloe, I don't believe you can't see it. Adrian stared into my eyes and said word by word, I want to get back together with you. I was shocked. Are you crazy? Adrian came from a good family, had a smooth career, strong self-esteem, and was full of pride. He who betrays him would be fortunate to escape with just their reputation ruined. Taking the initiative to reconcile was unheard of. I'm not crazy. I can let bygones be bygones. As long as you're willing to come back to me, we can be as good as we were before. His gaze was pleading yet restrained. This was probably the greatest concession he could make. I'm sorry. I don't want. The cold wind howled between us. I didn't want to argue further, and turned to leave. Adrian suddenly grabbed my wrist. Is it because of Leo? The first sighed. Helplessly, our relationship fell apart. Why drag others into this? Fell apart, Adrian murmured, his brow furrowed with pain. What caused our relationship to break down? Have you forgotten? Chloe, search your conscience. Haven T. I given you my all these years. I could even forgive you for cheating on me. What more do you want from me? Adrian's eyes were bloodshot, his teeth clenched, as if enduring the greatest humiliation. The distant glow of headlights broke the stalemate. The Bugatti came to a halt, its window rolling down. The person in the driver's seat spoke softly. Sis, get in. Seeing Adrian refusing to let go, Leo's expression darkened as he pushed the car door open and stepped out. A clash seemed imminent. After all, they moved in the same circles. It's not worth making enemies over me. I took a deep breath and looked at him coldly. Adrian, normal people don't harass their ex-wives like you do. Let go now, don't be pathetic. The public only knew we had dated. In reality, we were secretly married for 3 years. That marriage once dragged me into the mud. I almost couldn't walk away in your eyes when I lower my standards and try everything to please you. I'm just being pathetic, aren't I? Yes, I said. Fine. Adrian's eyes turned icy, his teeth clenched. Chloe, from now on, if I say one more word to you privately outside of work, I'll be damned as a dog. Adrian shook off my hand and strode away. Even his retreating figure radiated fury. The day we divorced, he was just as furious as he is now. He warned me to watch my back, saying he'd make sure I couldn't take a single step forward in this industry. I've been living in fear, waiting for his revenge, but 2 years have passed, and apart from secretly arranging resources for me, which I later discovered we had no further contact. Compared to this baseless entanglement, now, I'd much rather he simply hated me. 5 Leo drove me to the building entrance. Just before my feet could touch the ground, he scooped me up in his arms. Sis, the floor is cold. You'll catch a cold if you go barefoot. I curled up carefully in his embrace. I could hear the rapid thumping of his heart beneath his solid chest. Fast, urgent, especially noticeable in the silent elevator. Leo gently placed me on the sofa. The heating at home was strong, and my frozen feet quickly warmed up. Sis, if you don't want to continue with this show, I'll help pay the penalty fee for you. Don't force yourself. Thank you, but no need. He has already helped me too much. It wouldn't even be an exaggeration to call him my benefactor. How could I possibly let him pay for me again? You're being so formal with me, sis. Leo curled his lips. What kind of relationship do you think we have in your heart? His pupils were dark. When staring directly into them, it felt like gazing into a bottomless pool. I licked my lips, feeling somewhat guilty. We're good friends. But I've never thought of you as just a friend. Leo said, I like you, sis. I've liked you for a long time. A sudden straight shot caught me completely off guard, leaving me dazed. I'm not someone who is particularly dense or oblivious. To some extent, I could sense Leo's feelings. But I could only pretend not to see them. On one hand, since he hadn't pierced through that layer of window paper, I was afraid it might just be my own wishful thinking. On the other hand, I lowered my head somewhat dejectedly. Do you even know what you're saying? Of course I know, sis. I'm 22, not 12. 22, what a wonderful age. I was also 22 when I was with Adrian. Back then, naive and inexperienced, I believed love could conquer all mountains and seas. In the end, 2 people in love ended up wounded all over. Such as love. It's just a tool for tormenting people. Leo, I'm 6 years older than you. I know, and I've been divorced once. I know that too. I have a bad reputation, and my last relationship was highly publicized. If you're with me, you'll definitely face criticism. Only the floor lamp was on in the living room. The warm yellow light fell into Leo's eyes, reflecting a gentle glow. Sister, I know all these things, and I don't care about any of them. I only care if you like me, or not, he said, half kneeling beside me, staring intently at me. Sister, do you like me? My lips trembled uncontrollably. My fists clenched and unclenched, but not a single word could escape my lips. Do you like me? I don't know. I sat dumbly on the sofa, my mind in a daze. Before Leo left, he held my hand and spoke with utter sincerity. Elder sister, there's no need to rush your answer. I 1T pressure you, 1T make things difficult for you, 1T make you uncomfortable. I only ask that you look at me. I splashed cold water on my face. Leaning against the door, scalding tears mingled with icy droplets. Plop falling onto the floor. Chloe, is it that you don't like it, or that you don't dare to like it? Can you even tell the difference yourself? 6. Adrian meant what he said. For the rest of the filming, aside from necessary interactions, we became like strangers. A proud and arrogant golden boy like him lowering his pride to reconcile with his ex-wife only to be called shameless must have been deeply hurt. I told you no man could forgive a woman who cheated on him. Adrian must hate that bitch deep down. Last episode was probably just him acting under the show's direction. Darling, you're finally back to normal. I'm relieved. Chloe better have some shame and stop clinging to Adrian, or I'll curse you to death. Adrian and Sophia lost in the spicy food challenge. It's the end of the year now. Players who lost the game must share their annual app usage recap. The celebrities' daily hobbies were laid bare under the camera's gaze. The anticipation is through the roof. Unsurprisingly, Sophia, a hardcore comic book fan, got exactly the result she expected in her year-end review. Now it's Adrian's turn. He calmly unlocks his phone with practiced ease. The camera zooms in his Google search history, reveals this year you searched for Chloe a total of 874 times. A social media notification pops up. The post you spent the most time on was Chloe's new romance rumored to be exposed. A video streaming platform. Your favorite celebrity of the year is Chloe. Even Adrian himself seemed surprised by this result. His face flushed, then paled. He couldn't help but glance at me. Then he averted his gaze as if burned. The curious eyes of the crowd kept darting between the two of us. Mr. Adrian, this. The host was rendered speechless. Not mentioning me would make it impossible to skirt around the issue. But mentioning me might risk crossing some unspoken line truly worthy of being called an acting legend. After a brief adjustment, Adrian's expression returned to normal. Don't overthink it, just a hacker breach. The host was drinking water to ease the awkwardness, but nearly choked to death upon hearing this. Mr. Adrian, are you saying that someone hacks into all your platform accounts every day just to secretly follow Miss Chloe? Correct. Adrian nodded firmly. Even the comment section couldn't take it anymore. Getting hacked across all platforms, what a niche hobby. Damn, he's love drunk to the point of delirium. Good news, if the sky falls we don't need to worry, Adrian's mouth will hold it up. Chloe, did you put some kind of love spell on him? By day he acts like he despises you in front of others, but at night, he secretly searches your name, goes crazy with jealousy, seeing your dating rumor sour to the core. Damn, and I must be losing it. I actually find this kind of ship worthy. Help, don't just ship anything. 7. Going to the haunted house this afternoon. Because of the morning-s incident, Adrian became even more cautious about keeping his distance. Within a 10-meter radius around me, he was absolutely nowhere to be seen. Jacob and Sophia walked ahead holding hands. The girl seemed a bit scared, and the boy gently put his arm around her shoulder to comfort her. Look at their vibe, it's like they're filming a romance movie. Looking back at the three of us, now it feels indescribably strange. I'm not the bravest person, but I can handle a haunted house well enough. Adrian, needless to say, is a staunch materialist. The further we walked, the darker it got, until Leo's slightly trembling voice broke the silence. Sis, I'm a little scared, don't be afraid. I took his hand in the darkness. I heard a loud tsh. Mr. Adrian, why are you sighing? Are you scared too? Adrian was speechless. You think I'm as useless as you? Leo held my hand tighter. Sis, since he's not scared anyway, why don't you stay closer to me? Okay. The haunted house was narrow. Walking side by side with Leo, the first practically melted into his embrace. His hand was warm with slender fingers and distinct knuckles. I couldn't resist gently stroking them a few times. A soft chuckle came from above my head. Realizing what I was doing, my face instantly burned with heat. After passing a few coffin-shaped rooms, a chainsaw-wielding ghost suddenly charged out. I was startled. Leo rushed in front of me, turning his back to the ghost to block my view. This time, I crashed squarely into his embrace. You scared me to death, sis. He gently stroked my back, nuzzling the top of my head with his face. Adrian finally couldn't take it anymore. What are you doing? Let go. Leo looked utterly innocent, just a reflex reaction. Reflex my ass. Adrian was nearly laughing in frustration. If you were startled, why pull someone into your arms? Stop pretending. What are you yelling for? I snapped impatiently. Chloe, can't you see this kid is lying to you? He's not scared at all. I shielded Leo behind me. Stop talking nonsense. He's just a kid. How could he possibly lie? Adrian looked utterly incredulous, his lips pressed into a thin line as he turned his face away, sulking again. The comment section exploded. Leo, the first get you, I'm a green tea bitch too. I told you Leo and Chloe are definitely not innocent. His eyes are practically glued to her. God help me, Leo, what's wrong with your taste? How could you fall for this cheating woman? You two better take it easy. The ex-husband is about to pass out from anger. How does Chloe have chemistry with everyone? Ugh, this is such a tough choice. Seriously, does the internet have no memory? One show, and she's redeemed. Was it really Chloe's fault? Back then, only the people involved know the truth about relationship issues. If Adrian doesn't care anymore, why are you fans so worked up? As the show progressed, public opinion about me finally began to shift slightly. Some neutral viewers started speaking up for me, and the comments under my social media posts were no longer uniformly critical. CP fans and solo fans began dominating the trending comments. For once, I managed to get a good night's sleep. Little did I know a storm was quietly brewing in the middle of the night. I was jolted awake by my manager's relentless phone calls. I opened Twitter top trending Chloe S. affair exposed. 8. There's a photo circulating on the hot search in a deserted alleyway. A guy had his arm around my shoulder, wiping away my tears. The photo is a bit blurry, but the outline of the man's face can still be vaguely seen. The news topped the trending charts within 20 minutes of breaking. If anyone says there's no one pulling strings behind the scenes, I don't believe it. Leo flew out yesterday to handle work matters and can't make today's recording. He must have pulled an all-nighter the moment the news broke at midnight. He fired back with 8 words grasping at shadows, baseless nonsense. I arrived at the filming location early in the morning. The director and crew members all looked at me with rather complicated expressions. But everyone here is a seasoned veteran who has weathered the entertainment industry as storms. No one would bring up the matter voluntarily except for Adrian. I went to the restroom to wash my face, and as soon as I stepped out, Adrian came looking for me. Chloe, what are you going to do? I chuckled lightly. Didn't you say it yourself? If you say another word to me in private, you're a dog. Fine, then I'm a dog. With me, you're insane. Chloe, get back together with me. I'll help clear things up. Say, it was all a misunderstanding. I can't stand watching them insult you anymore, to be honest. I was really surprised. Back then, I was relentlessly cyberbullied by a swarm of anti-fans online, even having my face photoshopped onto funeral portraits and being chased by paparazzi. Adrian would just calmly say, every celebrity gets criticized, Chloe, you'll get used to it. He debuted early, enjoyed high popularity, and faced major controversies. He never took these things seriously. So, he couldn't he see my sleepless nights, couldn't he see my tears, couldn't he witness my emotional breakdowns happening again and again. He would only think that I'm immature, my childish emotions aren't even worth his attention. No need, I can handle it myself. The days when I needed Adrian are long gone. After discussing with the director, they decided to give me a few minutes at the end of the show. The live camera focused on me. The comment section was filled with vile remarks. I steadied my mind and pulled out a family photo from my pocket. The guy trending online ISNT some affair partner. He asked my younger brother 9 years ago. I was the one who filed for divorce. But Adrian disagreed. That was the first time I saw him cry. Such a smooth and proud man, yet he tore up the divorce agreement in tears, stubbornly refusing to sign. Perhaps out of fear of loss, fear of facing the truth, he resorted to emotional neglect. His phone turned off, my number blocked, and he stopped coming home. Day after day, he avoided me, trying to salvage a failing marriage through evasion. During that period, I was at my lowest point, sinking deep into self-loathing and despair. My parents divorced when I was very young. My younger brother went with dad while I stayed with mom. After mom passed away, dad remarried and took my brother with him, leaving me as an unwanted outsider with nowhere to call home. On the rare occasion dad invited me for dinner, I thought it might thaw our frozen relationship. Instead, he scolded me for making petty complaints about Adrian. You don't think I've been good enough to you? You're so ungrateful. Not just my father, Adrian's parents are mutual friends, assistants, agents. Everyone thinks the same way. I don't understand. Why does wanting to end a relationship that torments me make me some kind of unforgivable villain? Is it simply because on the surface it looks like Adrian loves me more? Late at night, my younger brother walked me home. As we strolled through the alley, I talked and cried. I didn't expect him to understand. Just having someone to confide in was already precious to me. When we reached the fork in the alley, he reached up to wipe away my tears. Sis, I support all your decisions. I just want you to be happy. Little did I know this scene was witnessed by Adrian, who had just arrived to pick me up. That day I took my younger brother's hand and said to Adrian, you saw it yourself. I have someone else now. Just sign the papers and stop pestering me. It's exhausting. I knew this approach was too extreme, but I was utterly drained from being strung along by him. All I wanted was to break free by any means necessary. To this day, I still dare not recall the expression on Adrian's face that day. Shock, pain, fury, humiliation. He must have hated me to the core. News of our breakup spread like wildfire. The media was rife with speculation about the reasons. From signing the divorce papers to receiving the divorce certificate, Adrian never spoke another word to me. Late that night, he tweeted, "May those who betray true love swallow 10,000 needles." From that day onward, I was nailed to the pillar of moral disgrace. Everyone became convinced I had cheated. Wherever I went, curses followed. Not until today were all rumors finally and completely cleared. Adrian called me several times, but I ignored him. He chased me all the way to the foot of my apartment building. Chloe, if you're not afraid of being photographed, I'll just stand here. He made it clear that unless I gave him a proper explanation, he wouldn't leave. I sighed, come in, why? Adrian couldn't wait to speak the moment he stepped through the door. Chloe, what exactly did I do wrong that made you insist on divorcing me even at the cost of ruining your own reputation? He gripped my shoulders tightly, tears welling up in his eyes. I poured money and resources into you, was willing to give you everything I had, and remained 100% loyal to you. Where exactly did I go wrong? I furrowed my brows, suppressing the turbulent emotions surging within me. Sometimes I hate myself. If only I could just want his money and resources. Then I wouldn't be in pain, nor would I have chosen to leave. Adrian, do you remember what I said the day we filed for divorce? I've said it many times. He asked my lover, not a sugar daddy. I just wanted to be seen by him. That's all. I don't understand. Adrian's hand suddenly loosened its grip, his voice thick with sobs. Chloe, you always say that, but I really don't understand. We spent every day together. How did I never truly see you? I loved you so much. I shook my head with a bitter smile. Truthfully, it wasn't Adrian's fault. The blame lies only in this. We were never meant to be the same kind of people. We could never understand each other. Adrian, you say you love me. All these years, if you had just put in a little more effort to understand me, would you really not recognize my own brother? Adrian comes from a wealthy and powerful family. His parents never approved of me. Back when we got married, Adrian went to great lengths to mediate and make it happen. After marriage, I would return to his parents' home every week without fail to have dinner with them, rain or shine. Even though I was ridiculed every time, I never complained. I didn't want to put Adrian in a difficult position. Yet he never once took the initiative to ask about my family. Not even once, as if his matters were the only important ones while mine were trivial and not worth mentioning. You've searched for me so many times this year, then tell me, besides the gossip, what else have you seen? What awards have I won in the past 2 years? What's the name of my currently airing hit drama? What role do I play in it? Adrian was speechless, his lips trembling slightly, but unable to utter a single word. That's right, he didn't understand my family background or my past. He never cared about my feelings, never watched my work, never concerned himself with my glories or losses. Just being good to me in the way he thinks is right. To me, a good lover should be like a mirror. One that reflects myself, allowing me to confirm my own feelings and experience love and self-worth. But Adrian is a one-way mirror. I'm trapped deep within it, perceiving all the light and warmth of the outside world, yet forever remaining unseen. Chloe, if you wanted these things, why didn't you say so earlier? I would have done them all for you. Didn't he? I tell you, I asked him. Through tears, Adrian, I've said it so many times. Every argument ended the same way. He couldn't see me. He just follows my instructions like squeezing toothpaste. I say a little, he does a little. What's the point? Instead of dwelling on this, why not think about why this photo suddenly surfaced? Adrian suddenly understood. You mean? The only people present that day apart from those directly involved were Adrian's former assistant Amy. It was probably taken secretly back, then kept as a trump card. Seeing my recent change in public opinion, they decided to use this photo to nail me down forever. Chloe, I swear there's nothing between us. You know I'm not that kind of person. I nodded. I know, I believe you, but I don't care anymore. Adrian is a man with a clean personal life. He hired Amy as his assistant purely because of her strong work ethic. Yet Adrian was fully aware that Amy liked him, fully aware that she often provoked me and sowed discord between us. But he remained indifferent. He believed that as long as his own conscience was clear, that was enough. My jealousy, my insecurity, to him it was nothing more than a young girl's unreasonable tantrums. Adrian, we really ended long ago. From the moment I filed for divorce, there was no turning back for me. 11 After seeing Adrian off, I sat at the bar drinking. Memories swirled in my mind, turning my emotions into restlessness, leaving me sleepless. The clock hand pointed to 3 as I walked past the floor-to-ceiling window. I suddenly caught sight of a familiar figure. I threw on my coat and pushed open the door to go downstairs. He had been standing there quietly the whole time. Leo, when did you get back? Why have you been standing here all this time? Sis, the late night temperature was low and fine snowflakes drifted through the air outside. Leo brushed the snowflakes off his coat and took a step forward, wrapping his arms around me. I was so worried about you. I rushed back to check on you, he said, but I was afraid you might already be asleep and didn't dare call. He leaned down, his soft hair brushing against my cheek. The warmth of his embrace was intoxicating. I smiled and ruffled his hair silly. In an instant, the irritation in my heart vanished completely. I sat in Leo's car for a while. You're really bold. If I had actually cheated, that tweet you posted would have been enough to drown us both in the netizens' backlash. The corners of his lips curled into a smile. I believe you're not that kind of person, sis. Appearances can be deceiving. What if it were true? You've achieved career success, and life goes smoothly for you. There's no need to invite trouble for my sake. Leo turned to look at me, his gaze tender. If it were true, then this world would have one more man for me to envy. I didn't know how to respond. Leo grabbed my hand and placed it over his heart. Sister, this isn't a passing whim, nor am I playing around. I'm serious. These words only came after careful consideration. I've liked you for many years. The night was too quiet. The pounding of my heart echoed like drumbeats against my eardrums. Even the air inside the car began to grow warm. The last restraint in my heart was shattered by surging emotions. I quickly looked up and planted a kiss on his face. About to flee in panic, just as my hand touched the doorknob, Leo locked it from inside. He leaned in closer, pinning me against the door. His burning dark eyes reflected my face. Sis, I want to kiss you, may I? Even though he already backed me into a corner with no escape, he still kept asking permission over and over. I nodded. The next second, I was swallowed by a passionate, lingering kiss. The overwhelming love of youth nearly swept me off my feet. The first snow fell softly, leaving the ground damp and glistening. That night, like a lost traveler, I finally found myself again on that endless wandering path. Lucky I haven't lost the ability or courage to love. 12 A few days later, during the recording of the new episode, the director arranged 2 cars for the 5 of us. We were free to plan the next day as itinerary. Jacob and Sophia officially announced their relationship yesterday. They were classmates at film school, and the company arranged for them to revisit their alma mater tomorrow, while also giving fans some sweet moments. There were just the 3 of us left. I said I wanted to watch the sunrise. The plan was unanimously approved. By the time we reached the foot of the mountain the next day, the mist hadn't lifted yet, and the sky was just beginning to lighten. The aroma of roasted sweet potatoes drifted from afar. It smells so good. Big sister, do you want some? I'll go buy it. A light snow had fallen a couple of days earlier. The mountain path was a bit slippery, making this round trip would be time-consuming and dangerous. It's too troublesome. Don't go. It's no trouble at all. If my sister wants to eat it, I'll make sure she gets it. Leo came running back with 2 steaming hot roasted sweet potatoes in his arms. Oh, Mr. Adrian, I forgot to buy one for you. Adrian's face turned ashen. I want to eat it. Oh good, I wasn't planning to buy it for you anyway. Adrian, this episode, Jacob and Sophia were the main focus. Our group had it easy sitting halfway up the mountain waiting for sunrise as leisurely as a picnic. The sun gradually rose from behind the mountains bathed in warm golden light. My thoughts drifted far away. After divorcing Adrian, I developed depression due to online bullying. For a while, I thought my life was over. One day, the negative emotions reached their peak. I threw away my phone, hid it from everyone, and secretly went to climb the nearest mountain in the middle of the night. I thought after watching one last magnificent sunrise, I would jump from here. All would be settled with one stroke, but the sun had yet to rise. Instead, Leo arrived first. Back then, he fell from the wire while filming and broke his leg. He came limping toward me, leaning on his cane. I don't know how long he walked. He didn't scold me for being childish and worrying everyone. He didn't ask why I'd run here, just sat down quietly, pulled out a soft blanket from his backpack and wrapped my frozen body tightly in it. The sun rises, its light reflected in his dark gleaming eyes. He looks at me, his smile brighter than the sunlight. Sister, look, a new day has come. He says everything will get better. As the golden light envelopes him, I suddenly feel that life might not be so bad after all. No matter how earth-shattering the day before was, a new day always comes. My happiness might be waiting for me just ahead. At this very moment, a warm sun rises once more. I turn back. The boy's sincere, fervent gaze remains by my side, as if nothing had ever changed. His lips part slightly. Those words sounded like comfort, yet also like a promise. Sister, I've always been here. Just turn around and you'll see me, he said with a smile. Adrian heard Chloe mention roasted sweet potatoes. His first thought was, why eat that in the morning? Might as well have a proper breakfast later when they go down the mountain. But Leo said nothing. When Chloe said it smelled delicious, he happily ran to buy one, even bragging about picking the biggest and sweetest one. Adrian suddenly fell into reminiscence. What had he said when Chloe mentioned it before? Roasted sweet potatoes, what's so delicious about them? Sunrise, what's so beautiful about it? How many hundreds of times had similar scenes played out? Adrian had always used his own way of thinking to judge whether something was worth doing or should be done. All of Chloe's thoughts and needs had only ever received casual dismissals. Like a feather floating in the air, her heart felt even more hollow and adrift. Adrian suddenly realized that he had never truly entered Chloe's inner world. He couldn't understand why Chloe would cry when people said she was only with him for his money. As long as he was happy, why should he care about others' gossip? He didn't understand why Chloe got so angry when he helped her turn down a minor role from an audition. After all, he had secured much better scripts for her. Adrian didn't comprehend why, nor did he care to understand. He just kept apologizing, wanting to smooth things over as quickly as possible. But every time Chloe heard, I'm sorry, it's all my fault, she just responded with a bitter, sorrowful sneer. It turned out that disappointment had been accumulating bit by bit since that time, until finally, the building was on the verge of collapse. The last straw that broke the camel's back was just a trivial matter. Adrian owned a large amusement park for Chloe's birthday. She mentioned that she had never been to an amusement park as a child and wanted to ride the Ferris wheel. Adrian blurted out, habitually, you're such a grown-up, what is so fun about amusement parks? I've already made arrangements, we'll go pick out gifts in the morning, whatever you like, we'll buy it. At noon we'll have lunch at my parents' place, they want to meet you in the evening. I've reserved a Camelot dinner at a 5-star hotel for some quality time together. According to Adrian's plan, the day went smoothly. That night, after his shower, he saw Chloe sitting blankly on the sofa. She lifted her head, her eyes brimming with tears. She said, Adrian, let us get a divorce. At that moment, Adrian completely broke down. He didn't even try to understand the real reason their relationship had fallen apart. All he could think about was how his years of devotion had gone unappreciated. But what about Chloe? Hadn't she loved him with her whole heart too? It's not just the one who loves more visibly that deserves to be treated with sincerity. Adrian decided that no matter what, he would try to win her back one more time. Otherwise, it would be a lifelong regret. He made arrangements with the production team to film the next episode at that amusement park. Chloe once told him, if two people in love kiss at the top of a Ferris, will they never be separated for life. Her lucky number was 7. Adrian had hidden a bouquet of roses beneath seat number 7 in the Ferris wheel cabin. At the moment the Ferris wheel reached its peak, he would once again confess his love and longing to the girl he cherished most. From this day forward, he would learn to respect her, understand her, and never let her shed another tear. He was willing to spend the rest of his life proving that his love for Chloe had never changed. 14 Today's itinerary was suddenly changed to an amusement park. I was quite happy about it, but Cleo didn't seem to be in a good mood, especially the way he looked at Adrian. If looks could kill, Adrian wouldn't have enough lives to survive. I whispered to him, what's wrong? It's South, okay, sister, stay close to me and watch out for bad guys. Bad guys who we arrived at the entrance of the Ferris wheel. Jacob and Sophia boarded cabin number 6. Cabin number 7 reached the entrance. Adrian went up first and extended his hand to me. Chloe, come up. That hand remained suspended in midair. I never reached out to grasp it. Adrian's eyes reddened. He repeated it, his voice choked with emotion. Chloe, hurry up. I gazed at him calmly, watching the turbulent emotions in his eyes, laid completely bare. The next second the door closed. Cabin number 7 slowly ascended. The man who carried countless moments of my life was drifting further away from me. He turned back to look at me, yet my heart remained utterly unmoved. Only then did I realize I had truly let go, but leaving aside my lack of desire to go up, even if I wanted to, I couldn't have boarded. Where no one could see, Leo kept clutching my sleeve tightly. Like a puppy afraid of being abandoned by its owner, Leo and I boarded cabin number 8. His mood seemed to suddenly improve. The Ferris wheel was nearing its peak. Leo sat beside me and pulled me into his embrace, leaning against his shoulder. I asked, have you ever heard a certain saying? He asked, what is the story? They say, if two people in love kiss at the top of a Ferris, will they never be separated? Really, at the moment we reached the highest point, Leo cupped my face and gave me a gentle kiss. Sis, then we'll never be apart. My eyes grew slightly moist, smiling. I tilted my head up and kissed him back. Okay, the comment section exploded at an unprecedented speed. Holy shit, my ship is real. Am I watching the wrong show? Is this a dating reality program? A couple in front, another couple behind. If I were Adrian, I do want to jump off right now, woo. Help, who dares to look at Adrian's expression right now? He looks absolutely shattered. Leo held my hand as we stepped off the Ferris wheel. A staff member gasped in a hushed voice, Mr. Adrian, your hand is bleeding. Crimson blood dripped from his sleeve. Adrian seemed numb to the pain as he pulled out a few splinters and carelessly wiped his hand with a tissue. Mr. Adrian, let me help treat your wound. Leo smiled amiably and led Adrian away. But I always felt this matter wasn't so simple. Once away from the crowd, Adrian's suppressed emotions had nowhere left to hide. You did that on fucking purpose. Leo lifted his chin. Yeah, I did. Adrian, are you trying to embarrass Chloe on the show, or are you trying to pressure her into submission with public opinion? I didn't. Adrian denied. I just still love her. I want to win her back, that's all. Leo seemed to have heard the biggest joke of all. First of all, she has said it many times, it's over between you two. Your persistence is only causing her distress. Secondly, what right do you have to talk about getting back together? Leo grew angrier as he spoke. Adrian, the great movie emperor, your single tweet back then directly threw Chloe into the eye of the storm. Do you know how many people cyberbullied her during that time? Do you know public opinion can truly kill her? Depression was severe. She nearly took her own life several times. Had I discovered it just a moment later, she would have already. Leo still dares not recall that period. He watched with his own eyes as that strong, radiant girl was gradually tortured by online violence until she lost all hope of living. His heart ached with worry, wishing he could suffer in her stead, but aside from staying by her side, Leo didn't know what else he could do. It was the first time he experienced such utter helplessness. It was enough to drive one to the brink of despair. He couldn't understand it at all. Even he, as a secret admirer, believed in Chloe's character, yet her own husband did not. Chloe said she had someone else, and Adrian believed her. Had he just investigated or asked around, things might not have turned out this way. All of this was Adrian's own doing. He had no one to blame but himself. If Chloe still loves you, no matter how unwilling I am, I'll respect her choice and let you two be together. But she said she doesn't love you anymore. Chin, if you have any conscience left, stay away from her. 16. The reality show is finally over, and I'm lucky to have a few days off. Early in the morning, I opened the curtains and saw Adrian standing downstairs again. Sis, it's the fourth day. Leo mumbled complaints about Adrian while making breakfast for me. Sis, should I go chase him away? I'd better go down myself. I said, if we don't make things clear, he won't give up. The moment Adrian saw me, the corners of his eyes were red. Chloe, I've looked into it. It was indeed Amy behind all this. I'll handle it and make sure she pays the price. Emma, I nodded. Every media outlet and influencer who insulted you and spread those rumors, I won't let a single one get away with it. Okay, thank you. Adrian's eyes glistened with unshed tears. Chloe, I'm sorry, really sorry. I knew Adrian too well that day. I overheard his conversation with Leo. I knew he'd come eventually. Who knows how long he'd been standing downstairs. Snow covered my body. I raised my hand to brush it off. Adrian, there's no need to apologize anymore. In this relationship, neither of us was really at fault. We were just incompatible. Back then, I had made many efforts to salvage this relationship. I forced myself to move closer to Adrian, tried to understand his love, hid my true self, and interacted with him in the way he preferred. The longer time passed, the more pain I felt. Being by Adrian's side no longer brought the joy and comfort of the past, but instead left me shrouded in fear and unease. I was no longer myself. It took me a long time to figure that out later. When faced with conflicts and disagreements, we always want to argue about who's right and who's wrong. We almost wish we could grab each other by the throat, red-eyed, settling accounts one by one, trying to figure out who wronged whom. But when it comes to love, how can we truly measure right and wrong? If you love each other, then be together. If it's not working out, then part ways. Life is long. There will always be someone who walks beside you. No one should force another. Adrian, don't come back anymore. Let me go, and let yourself go too. If you keep holding on, we won't even be able to preserve the last bit of harmony and dignity between us. Adrian covered his face with his hands, his entire body trembling with sobs. Chloe, it was you who gave so much to teach me how to love. If I were to use this heart to love someone else in the future, wouldn't you be at such a loss? I couldn't help but laugh. Adrian, that's not how you should calculate it. I've never regretted being with you. All those beautiful moments we shared were truly real. I'm very satisfied with who I am now, resilient, clear-headed, optimistic. Looking back at every step of the journey, I've never had any regrets. After that day, Adrian never came to see me again. Before leaving, he took a step forward, hugged me, and said, take care. These were the last words between us. Adrian, take care. I've already found my happiness. I also hope you can live a joyful life. I mean, at the end, extra Adrian. That day on the Ferris, while seeing Leo and Chloe kiss, my heart ached as if torn to shreds. At that moment, I realized I had truly lost her. There would never be another chance. The bouquet of roses meant for my confession was still clutched tightly in my hand. The thorns pierced my skin, blood welling up, yet I felt no pain at all. After returning, I often dreamt of the past, remembering how Chloe and I first met at a banquet. A cliché plot, a girl just starting out in Hollywood was being harassed and bullied by a big shot, and I stepped in to help. But what even I didn't expect was that I'd fall in love with that girl at first sight. And then later we got to know each other, grew close, and fell in love. Everything felt like fate arranged by the heavens. Chloe was all alone with no one to rely on. She wanted a home, so I proposed to her. But my family wouldn't agree. My parents made it clear no matter what they would never accept this daughter-in-law. Caught in the middle, I was torn, yet Chloe never complained. Instead, she smiled and comforted me, resolutely going with me to get our marriage certificate. No announcement, no wedding. It truly was unfair to Chloe. I swore a solemn vow in my heart this lifetime I would treat her well and love only her. I believed I had kept that promise, yet now I realized that behind what I once took pride in as love, every single act was actually a debt unpaid. When Chloe asked for a divorce, I was completely stunned. After repeated attempts to change her mind failed, I chose the most foolish way to handle it. I thought that by avoiding the situation for a while, perhaps she would change her mind. When Chloe told me she was seeing someone else, all I could feel was anger. Looking back, now wasn't my failure to verify the truth, just another form of escape. I was all too eager to place the blame for our broken relationship squarely on Chloe's shoulders. It seems that by insisting she was unfaithful, I could prove my own unwavering loyalty. I absolved myself completely of any wrongdoing in the relationship. After the divorce, it took me 2 years to convince myself. So, what if she really cheated? I was her husband. What did those other men outside even matter? But no one would wait for me forever in the same place. Until now it became an unsolvable regret of this lifetime. Later, I saw Chloe again at the film festival's award ceremony. She won Best Actress for the first time in her acceptance speech. She mentioned Leo first. They stood across the stage gazing at each other from afar. The love in their eyes was impossible to hide. Damn organizers, they deliberately seated me right next to Leo. When the media photographed them, I got caught in the frame too. That photo went viral online and netizens gave us nicknames. Sunshine Boy and Cloudy Boy. Over the next 2 years, Chloe's career skyrocketed. She grew increasingly radiant, more beautiful than ever, her entire being in a state of unprecedented well-being. On her 30th birthday, she accepted Leo's marriage proposal. Countless netizens sent their blessings. Leo arranged an exceptionally grand and solemn wedding for her. I secretly attended the ceremony, not daring to tell a soul. This is the first time I've seen Chloe in a wedding dress. We never had a wedding, not even time for wedding photos. Chloe had mentioned these things before, but I didn't pay attention. In the end, someone else would care. Where I didn't, there was Chloe walking step by step toward the man on stage, wearing a custom-made hand-embroidered diamond wedding dress, holding her bouquet. The two exchanged rings and made their vows while I stood quietly in the corner. I couldn't bear it for another second. When Leo started showering everyone with red envelopes, I fled in panic. That night I drank until I had a stomach hemorrhage and was rushed to the hospital. And so Leo and I gained new nicknames: Money Shower Guy and Hospitalization Guy. These damn media waking up in the hospital bed. I took out my phone and found Chloe's contact. I never had the heart to delete her. During sleepless nights, I sent her countless messages, each followed by a red notification of failed delivery. Even knowing they wouldn't go through, I foolishly typed out 2 lines anyway. Chloe, I wish you happiness. This time I mean it. Leo the first was still in high school when I first met my sister. One day on set, I overheard 2 girls chatting in a corner. Their costumes were sloppy, looking like extras. One girl was complaining that small roles like theirs would probably never get their big break. The other girl remained optimistic. Chow chow. Keep going, one day will be seen by many people. At least from that day on, she was seen by me. I began observing her in secret. Whether it was her looks or her acting skills, she was quite good. She just lacked an opportunity. My uncle was an internationally renowned director. I secretly recommended her to audition for him. But I couldn't just hand the role to my sister, otherwise people would only think she got it through connections, overlooking her own talent and hard work. With that film, my sister was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for the first time. Although she didn't win in the end, the name Chloe entered the sights of countless filmmakers for the first time. After the awards ceremony, I quietly arranged for her to attend a dinner party hosted by a renowned investor. Afraid she might be bullied, I secretly arranged for someone to watch over her. Sure enough, someone was foolish enough to try, but before my people could intervene, Adrian showed up first. Later, when I found out they were together, I couldn't sleep for 3 days and nights, my eyes swollen like walnuts. I went through all that trouble only to end up playing matchmaker for them. Is there anyone in this world more miserable than me? Chin, you'd better sleep with your eyes open at night. Just don't let me get the chance, or I'll dig up your entire foundation. I threw myself into my work, determined to climb higher, hoping my sister would glance my way. In my free time, I followed every one of her works, every interview, every red carpet appearance. I often see her at various events. She seems so close to me, yet feels like an insurmountable chasm away. I thought this unrequited love would remain buried in my heart, ending without resolution. Who knew that years later the opportunity would actually come? But I wasn't happy at all. Because my sister wasn't happy, I began blaming myself. Why had I been hoping for problems in their relationship? As long as big sister can be happy, it doesn't matter who she's with. Her sadness hurts me even more. I start making my presence known in every possible way. Step by step I get closer to her, leading her out of the shadows. Thankfully she emerged from it. Everyone around us says I was the one who saved her. Actually, it's not like that at all. I never intended to presumptuously play the role of some savior. I only came to love her. The end.